Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Ricky Summer, and this is not a review of She Will Punish Them. This is a game that is currently in early access that has a little bit of a story behind it. I can't wait to tell you, but first, a message from our sponsor.
Come for the opportunities. Stay for the culture. Bay City.
Alright, welcome to She Will Punish Them. So this is absolutely not the sort of game that I would play, and absolutely not the sort of game that I would ever make a video of or stream. But I did stream it last week, and I'll tell you why. So the developers have been hounding me, right? Emails, constant, offering me keys on like Keymailer and all the key sites and whatnot. Constant emails, ridiculous. And I'm like, you know what? It's not my sort of game, but good on ya. Like, whoever's doing the marketing, the community management, or whatever you want to call it, they're doing their job, they're being tenacious, and I respect that. So, I'll check it out. And what I found was incredibly conflicting. I figured it'll be a laugh. If I make a video, it'll be a laugh. Okay, so what is this? What is it? It's an early access, it's an action RPG. Alright? It's got procedural elements, almost roguelite-ish. So, first up, you can see this is our character. You create a succubus, and at the end of the video, I'm going to quickly run through character creation. It's not that deep, but you can create your succubus. And this is your only character, like, there's no other, it's just a succubus, just a female character that looks like this. And then you go through what are essentially little randomized dungeons, fighting skeletons and zombies and whatnot, picking up loot, armor and weapons that you do see on your person, and you can see we've got a little mace here, and it's actually sort of sheathed at our side. The game has lots and lots of clipping, and yet, it's actually has a little bit of, like, there's a little bit of fun to be had. Make no mistake, I don't think I could in good conscience recommend this game, and we'll get to why. But first, let's jump into the, well, hang on. All right, before we jump into an actual game, let me first show you what sort of game we're dealing with here. If you hadn't already, ascertained from what we've seen so far. Let me go over to my throne here. So, like, you get it, alright? That being said, the first thing that I, against all odds, like about this game, and throughout this video, you might be thinking, Rick, you're being real hard on these poor devs. I was concerned about that too at first, but it'll all become clear at the end. One of the things that I like about this is this sort of like home dungeon area, where, you've got your armor shop, for example. You can buy various armors, or lack thereof. You've got your storage, all pretty standard stuff. There's over here, weapon shop. There's the town portals, keys. I actually haven't found like a place to use keys yet. An interesting note is when you die in the dungeons, you lose everything, all your gear. There's no leveling up system, I don't believe. It's all through gear, which I like. I do like that style of action RPG, like Monster Hunter. You don't level up in Monster Hunter, you just get better gear, and you get better at the game. I like that. I genuinely do. Then you've got like your little cosmetic things, like you start off with a throne, and then you can buy additional furniture. And just for the sake of, this is my stream character, by the way, because I played this for about an hour on stream last week. So I just, for the sake of figuring out, like, having a look at what we're dealing with here, I bought the bed, right? And just in case you hadn't fully grasped what sort of game this was, well, there it is. The music's banging, I gotta say, but I don't think it was written for the game. Now that I'm listening to it, I'm going, where have I heard this before? Anyway, we can actually, you know what? I don't even have to show you character creation, because this is straight up it. We can change, hang on, we'll go to the face camera here. We can change our face shape. So, you know, just some preset faces, essentially. This is, I guess, we're changing our makeup, is what we're doing there. We can change eye color. We've got to go for that sort of almost purpley blue. I appreciate that a great deal. And we got a couple of hairstyles. We'll switch it up. And we've got, you know what, we've got horns and we've got wings. So I'm gonna keep, you know what, let's switch up the horns to something a little more twisty, and we'll go chat one of the little raven wings. So we're gonna go for these ones instead, which straight up, they just look like the wings from the gargoyles, I think, in Skyrim. I don't know, I could be wrong. Anyway, so there you go. So alright, so this, I'm not being facetious, I'm not joking, I'm not being sarcastic or any other form of insincere. This feature I'm about to show you, I genuinely like. All this does, it's a wardrobe that you select and it opens up your inventory. But what I like about it is it changes the perspective so that you can actually see your character. And this is just so that you can swap out armor and see what it looks like. So you understanding? You getting what sort of game this is? Anyway, we're gonna actually wear what is gonna provide us with greater defense here. But this is cool. I actually wish that we had this feature in more ARPGs. Just like go to like a wardrobe where you can see like straight up what your character's going to look like next to your inventory. So sort of like a vanity inventory. Anyway, so enough prattling on. Let's actually get into the game here. So we're presented with the overworld map, essentially from Dungeon Keeper, which is kind of nice. And I do believe you can go back and replay levels. So we're going to let's replay Cold Step. And then I think Haunted Courtyard sort of switches it up quite a bit. So it probably correlates to the little icons here. So these three are the same. So their tile set is very similar. All right, and here we are in the dungeon. So straight up, I kind of like this. It reminds me of old games. It's a bit retro. After playing about an hour of this in my own time, just figuring out if I even want to do a video on it, I was immediately reminded of a game I played as a kid called Die by the Sword. I actually found it on GOG, so I'm glad that I experienced this game because it's made me remember a beloved game from my childhood, which I will actually be able to purchase and play on my modern system now, so I might even do a video on that. It's worth noting that the audio balance is horrible. So we're going to, hopefully, I'm going to try my best to fix that in post. Anyway, so it reminded me of Die by the Sword, which was a sort of like you go like arena to arena, essentially, fighting monsters. And that had like big stakes because you could literally lose arms, you could lose limbs, and you'd have to finish the game just like that, like with a missing leg or a missing arm. This is not quite to that degree. Magic Barrier I have attained. So we got spells, but I think it's unclear whether they're dished out like randomly or here we go. We got more loot. Dinosaur Queen armor. I can't wait to check that out. I can't friggin' wait, dude. And we've got shops in the actual in the dungeons as well. So let's have a look at this. All right, so that's the Dragon Queen armor. In case you were wondering what sort of game this was. The inventory is really janky, by the way. So like that's all right. So let's just get rid of that because apparently we can't put it in our inventory. That's fine. Can I move this? So you gotta click sort of at the top of where it would be slotted. See that? Anyway. So we come into here, it gets blocked off, and then we've got skeletons. Skeletons. I was halfway between skeletons and skellingtons. Anyway, I like the enemies. There you go. So you're probably being deafened right now by the occasional. We got a dodge roll as well. There you go. So like that's very loud, and I hate that. Don't know what that is. It seems to only happen when you capture the game, I think. Anyway, I like the design of the enemies. I think the skeletons in particular look very good. There is no lock-on. But that's alright. It's not every game needs to have a lock on. There's no jump as far as I understand. You sort of, you walk or you run and you roll, and that's how it goes. You can equip shields. Do I have a shield? I don't. When you open the inventory, the game pauses, which is nice. But just like, alright, so the general look of the game and the way the levels are laid out and the enemies, it's given me deep nostalgia for games I played as a kid, and I appreciate that. I do. I just think maybe aside from that, it's not really much of a game, and yet somehow I'm having fun with it. Why is this happening? Let me equip a bow here, so I can show you the range combat. It's got jank out the wazoo. If you have an appreciation for jank, as I do from time to time, you may be cool with it. So we're getting to, like, all right. So before the stream, I was prepared to go, yo, this is everything I thought it was, and yet not at all. And what I meant by that was, it's a game where you loosely customize a buxom succubus, so it's very clear what sort of game it is. And it is absolutely that game. We've also got health pots and mana pots. Let's use some spells here. So we've got the barrier, and well, what else have we got? We've got a second barrier. They've got, right, so they're two different icons. No, they're the same icon. Silly me. They're the same icon. So I've just got two spells. I mean, that actually seems useful. It's also worth noting, I haven't figured out how to swap out spells. It is early access. I mean, let's be fair. Let us be fair. Anyway, what I was saying was, before doing the stream, I was prepared to say, yo, this is actually better than I expected it to be. Like, if you let me customize my character, like, can I be just anything except a succubus? Just let me be something else. Give me some. You hold tab to pick things up, by the way. Tab brings up the mouse pointer. Give me some fantasy tropes. Let me be a dwarf or something. It also reminded me of this game. I'll have to look it up in a second because I can't remember what it was called. I did some videos of it like ages ago. I played it with my buddy Kluger. We did some videos ages ago. It was like an open world sort of dungeon. No, it wasn't really. Well, it had open world elements, I guess. An open overworld, but it was like a dungeon crawling pseudo MMO, like small scale MMO fantasy action RPG, and you would create like a goblin or a dwarf or a human or an elf, you know, and you'd pick your class and you'd go into the tavern and you'd be like, hey, yo, who wants to join me in this dungeon? And you'd pick up some randos, or you'd party up with your friends and you jump in there. It reminds me of that as well. I think the style of game is something that I need, and yet it's not being fulfilled. I didn't know I needed it, but I think I do. And actually, I genuinely love the kind of the jank retro look of the maps. I do. I actually do. You know what? Like, you could pop me into these maps and give me like a shotgun, and I think I would have easily as much, if not more, fun. But like, you give me some fantasy archetypes, and you know, let me customize my character meaningfully, not just visually, which, as far as I understand, is not really something you can. I mean, you can use different weapons, of course. Let's be fair here. But there's no like skills and whatnot, and you know, I also need to. I need to hold myself accountable and recognize that at the start of the video I said that was a good thing. That, you know, I liked RPGs, action RPGs, where the way you customize your character is through equipment. But yeah. So before the stream, I was prepared to go, hey, yo, I'm not sure I'd recommend the game, but it's not as bad as I was expecting. And I'll tell you why that changed once we get to the end of the level here. Because I need to read some stuff off Steam. So this is actually quite an abnormally large room, I've got to say. It's worth noting the game has mixed reviews on Steam, which I find interesting. Some people are having fun with it, and that's like there's fun. I think there's fun to be had. It's repetitive, but like what action RPG isn't, I suppose. It gets hard. It does get hard. Like once you get to like the 4th area, it's pretty brutal. You get a greater variety of enemies like zombies, and you get skeletons that are casting spells, and some of the animations are actually not too bad. There's something there. If nothing else, it's made me seek out Die by the Sword and and have some fun with that. Okay, I think this is probably the no, we're not quite the final room yet. So right now, like, I feel like the difficulty spike is pretty severe, and like I said, that happens in area 4. But for the moment, I mean, I'm taking a little bit of DiMaggio right here. Let me pop down some. So I think the barriers just stop projectiles, which is fine, you know. That's certainly useful. So it looks like we're not getting that god's awful clinking sound from the mace anymore. I might swap out my weapon just for the sake of showing you something else. The animations, combat animations, are different depending on which weapon you use. So we'll use a please. Okay, we'll use a sword. So sword's going to do more damage, but it seems to have like a set sort of combo to it. Like you'll do your 3 attacks or whatever it is, and then you got to pause. Whereas the mace just keeps going. Like you can just keep chaining mace attacks. So even though it does less damage, it's maybe more useful in that regard. You know, if you can just get away with stun locking these skeletons, young man, please, young man. Young man. Okay. There's loot over there. Gee, I wonder what it is. Can we... Hang on. F. And then that's it. It was just gold. Okay. Let's... Did I pick up... Silver braces I have. Rad. And there we go. You can actually see them. And that's nice. Yeah, I mean... You may not like the art style, the design of the items, but I feel like the itemization is good, you know? You put something on and it you know, the relevant model actually shows on your character. Here we go. This is the last room. Please. End me, dude. Just friggin' end me. Okay. We got Lorge Man coming down. Mischief braces. Magnificent. There we go. Yo, okay. Steady on. So, I haven't got a shield to show you, but you, like I said, you can use a shield. And it's active blocking. Interestingly, you know, I can't decide if it's jank or if it's, like, kind of cool. Hang on, let me set down a barrier, please. There we go. Now you can't hit me, you friggin' dingus. So it seems like the hitbox for the shield is very specific. So it's not just like you hold up your shield and you block. You have to actually physically get between the attack and you, which is kind of interesting. I appreciate that. I'm not sure that, like, to play... You look at the other mechanics of the game. You look at the game as a whole. I'm not sure I really would have picked it as like a precision combat sort of game in that regard. But here we are, and that's how that goes. Amazon leggings. Do I have leggings? I do. I mean, these are worse than what I have, but I mean, just so you... Alright, so those are Amazon leggings, in case you were wondering. We can put our weapon away, if you want. And that's it. That's the end of the level. So we've collected magics. Magnificent. Alright, so hang on. Something I want to try is swapping magics. I can't figure out how to do it. Inventory. I mean, like... So we got, like, these bonuses we pick up. And presumably we lose them as well when we die, as well as the magic. Hang on, what is this? Wicked Braces? Is that what we were wearing before, maybe? Mischief Braces? They're not as good as what we've got. But there you go. You can also replenish yourself with health and mana, whatever they call it, the magic substance, at the home base. Wait, but like seriously though, I mean, it could just be an early access thing. Maybe you can't swap them out yet. Or maybe it's like you take one and it drops another one. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know about that. So let's go... Let's go to the next area. Let's go to area 4. Let's go to area 5. Let's go to area 5. But I'm gonna reveal to you what changed my mind about this. So, like I said before, making the video before the stream, I was like, yo, this isn't as bad as it looks. There's fun to be had here. Then during the stream, like we were having fun riffing on the game and whatnot. And then just out of curiosity, I was like, all right, let's see what else the developer has done. And I found the only other game that they've got on Steam is, as of yet, unreleased, scheduled for release in August 2020. Again, early access, and wouldn't you know it, it's a carbon copy asset flip, and it's just this game, but with Valkyries instead. So, that being said, I'm not sure I can in good conscience say, like, I feel bad. I do. This game is better than it should be. Okay, so this is a marginally different. We got some different little assets here. I like the snacks. So, I don't know, I don't know. My guy, I do not know. It's a bit of a ridiculous game. Here we go. We got... Oh, Jesus. Alright, that just blew out my eardrums. Please, no. Please. Friggin' end me, dude. I mean, I like that. I like that we've got fire-throwing skeletons. We've got Zambonis. Zambonis look good. Zambonis do look good. That one doesn't. Oh god, what? That was a mummy, huh? It explodes in green? Don't we all from time to time? Javelin boys? I think we can get javelins as well. Alright, cool. You know? So like... How many different ways can I say it? It's, you look at it, you go, I mean, the logo of the game is in papyrus, for the love of God. Papyrus font. You look at the game, you go, yeah, alright. But then you play the game and you're like, oh, yeah, alright. But like, just a little bit. Look at that. I like that lighting effect, too. That's nice. We got, what? We got ghost skeletons now? Crystal boys? Please. End me, dude. Friggin' end me. This game is more fun than it has any right to be, is what I'm getting at. I find it satisfying knocking the shields out of these skeletons. Why do I keep saying skeletons? I'm meaning to say skeleton. Skeleton. It's the Bone Boys. I like knocking the shields out of the Bone Boys' hands. I like popping their heads off. There's a little bit of visceral satisfaction there. Ironically, the sexy succubus is possibly the least interesting thing about this game. Would you believe it? Would you believe that if I told you that that was in fact the case? You better believe it because it's true. Oh god, we got more. Please. I never want to hear anything again. Just... Dude, hang on. Let me... Oh! It stopped... The shield stops the fireballs as well? Hold on. Oh, I've unlocked new meta. Please. Oh, for the love of God. Oh god. Okay. Alright. Yeah, alright. Okay. Yeah, alright. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's to be expected. If you die, you will lose all your equipment and loots. But you can get them back from the final room of the same level. I kind of like that, you know? I mean, there's an interesting game concept behind all this, and there's a couple of features that I kind of like that I haven't personally seen in other games. And I kind of like call me crazy. I'm just really jazzed about this wardrobe idea. Like, give me this in Walson or Grim Dawn or something, you know? For me, part of the fun of an action RPG, you know, with a loot fest style ARPG, is making your character look dank, you know? That's part of the fun of it for me. So we've got no coins, we've got nothing. We have no armor, we've just got an ancient sword, and in order to get my stuff back, I have to go back to the Forsaken Height where I just died and get my equipment. Now, I don't know, just out of curiosity, let's go to the West Haven, which is the first area. I want to see if completing another area, like replaying another area, will prevent us from getting that stuff back. Because if they expect you to like run through a place that just kills you and get to the end of it with no equipment just to get your equipment back, buddy, they got another thing coming. So you know what? There's probably an easier way to do this. We could just die here and we'll see what happens, right? Open the chest, dude. Give me some goods. So this is like, oh, right, so we got another statue again. Right, so we lost our blessing sort of things as well, and now we've got that. So that means that we're going to get more gold from killing it. Oh, God, the audio balance, dude. Please, just, you know what? End me. Just end my life. Quickly, do it quickly. I'm done. I'm done with this world. I've seen all that this world has to offer. Dude, finish me off, please. Beautiful. Magnificent. Okay, with the collector buffs. I get it. Look, I can't stress this enough. I'm freaking losing my mind, dude. The core gameplay concept, I like. I genuinely do. Give me a decent combat system. Let me be anything except a succubus. You know, and fix the audio balance. We can have some fun here. I'll tell you what. Okay, so let's check. There you go. Oh, because it's different now because I was killed. But that makes total sense. So it's like a Dark Souls aspect. That's punishing, dude. Can you... So what would you have to do? Oh, I get it. I get what the game wants you to do. So, I bet you're expected to farm up the areas that you can beat and then accumulate a stash so that when you do die, you can re-equip yourself with stuff that you've stored in your stash, in your personal storage, and then try the level that just killed you again in the hopes of getting your original gear back. Now it makes sense. That's a gameplay loop that I could have fun with. If only the combat was a little less janky and doesn't even have to be deeper, just like make it more fun to play. Also, it's worth noting, I personally couldn't get a controller to work with the game at all. So there's that. This feels like it would have been a good controller game, but, you know, here we are. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. I'm freaking losing my mind here, dude. We had fun on stream with it anyway. So, I mean, I'll put the links to... I'll put the links to the... I'll put a link to the game, to the Steam page in the description. I'm not telling you to get it, but... Hey, there you go. So, you know, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to gently caress that like button. Taste the game. Be excellent to each other. And I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer. Out.